Okay, let's jump right in. There's this quiet but really powerful shift happening right now. You're not going to see it in flashy headlines, but it's fundamentally changing how a whole generation is approaching their later years. We're talking more intention, more control than ever before. Seriously, take a second. What's the first image that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably some old stereotypes. But what we're going to do today is look at how those outdated ideas are getting completely tossed out for a much more dynamic and honestly exciting reality.
Because the entire conversation is evolving. We're seeing this massive move away from the old ways of thinking and towards a new model of aging that is proactive, it's connected, and it's incredibly thoughtful. So let's break down what that actually looks like on the ground.
All right, first up, the first major shift we're seeing is all about money and planning. It's this huge move away from just, managing day to day and toward actively building and securing the future.
And it often starts with questions just like this. We're seeing more and more seniors really getting into the nitty-gritty of their finances, asking these sharp questions about things like their annual tax bill or why a property assessment changed. They're working to protect that fixed income, making these really smart, defensive moves to lock in their stability.
And then the conversation gets even deeper. It expands from worrying about this month's bills to long-term strategy. Families are no longer just waiting for a crisis to hit. They're having these absolutely crucial conversations about future care and how to protect their assets way, way earlier than they used to.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The whole mindset is shifting from being reactive, waiting for an emergency to force your hand, to being proactive. It's about looking down the road, anticipating what might be coming, and making choices from a position of strength, not a position of panic. It's a total game changer.
So, okay, with the financial side getting so much more intentional, what about the social side of things? Well, the next key trend is all about actively fighting isolation and rebuilding connections, and in some pretty cool ways.
After a few years where, let's face it, a lot of people felt pretty isolated, there is a real hunger for face-to-face community. We're seeing seniors making a real effort to show up again. At farmers markets, social events, workshops, they're looking for that genuine human connection, which is a great reminder that community is often way more important than square footage.
But here's the interesting part. This push for connection isn't just happening in person. It's also happening online, bridging that digital divide that a lot of people thought was pretty much permanent.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? More and more seniors are logging into online workshops, they're listening to and even participating in podcasts, and they're using all kinds of digital tools to connect with family and find information. Technology is no longer some huge obstacle. It's being embraced as this really powerful bridge to the rest of the world.
All right, let's get to our final trend, and you'll see how this all connects. This new sense of being proactive, of being connected, is completely redefining what the perfect home even means for seniors today. And I want you to forget that old term downsizing. The real conversation now is about right-sizing. The key difference here is that this is not about giving things up or making your life smaller. Not at all. It's about making a deliberate choice to simplify your life in order to gain something way more valuable: peace of mind.
And here are the really practical reasons behind that choice. People are intentionally choosing homes that require less upkeep or homes that are closer to family, or maybe it's just a place with a smarter layout that works better for long-term mobility. Every single one of these decisions is about improving quality of life and making sure you can age safely and comfortably.
So when you put all these pieces together, the smart financial planning, the community building, and these intentional living spaces, a really clear picture starts to emerge of a brand new senior mindset.
It all comes down to these three pillars. Number 1, taking control of your finances through proactive planning. Number 2, intentionally seeking out connection, both in the real world and online. And number 3, simplifying your lifestyle, not to shrink it, but to actually make it better. It's a really powerful combination.
And when you really look at it, what this all shows us is something much bigger. This isn't just a story about seniors. It's kind of a blueprint for how to age with intention, making deliberate choices at every stage of life to shape the future that you actually want.
So that leaves us with a pretty big question to think about for ourselves, no matter how old we are. If right-sizing is really about simplifying your life to gain more peace, what would that look like for you? Right now, or maybe 10, 20 years down the road? It's definitely something worth thinking about.